All right, on today's Co-Bet Daily, it's a massive, massive Friday for you. We've got a whole mess of stuff. We've got player props, game picks, best bets for the entire weekend. I'm looking at literally every NBA game across your Saturday. Stats guy, what have you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at some value in the Carabao Cup Final and a Brownlow Medal early pick.
Nice one. Alex, are you making a donation to the gambling gods?
As always, a London Derby goal scorer, and somehow I tip horses on a sports betting show.
I love it. We're not entirely sure if that's legal, but you should listen before we get shut down. It's Co-Bet Daily. Check it out. All right, welcome to Co-Bet Daily. It is Friday, February 24. All day. This is episode 58 of the old Co-Bet Daily. It's a pretty good podcast for a pretty good website. We call that CodeBet. And that's what I'm the editor of. I'm your host, Jaymz Clements, the editor of codebet.com.au for all your betting analyses and comparisons needs. Absolute chockers at the moment as well, I'll tell you that much. AFL, NRL kicking off very, very soon. We're right in the guts of the NBA season. EPL's flying out the door. We've got Carabao Cup. We've got FA Cup. It's all going on. There's Women's T20. Oh, mate. Just an absolute betting paradise at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Anyway, as always, joined by the pontiffs of punting, we have a very disinterested Alex Donnelly, who I'm just not going to talk to, I think, in this show because he's got zero enthusiasm for being here. So
get up and about, Alex.
I thought Stats Guy would be up and about because North Melbourne were leading Richmond in a practice game, and it's not like North Melbourne to get carried away by the preseason at all, is it?
I got carried away in the first quarter, and then Richmond kicked 5 in a row, so we're losing already. So
back to usual programming. North Melbourne suck.
Well, I can't wait for the entire AFL season of you two talking over the top of each other. So the other one there was Stats Guy, Liam McAllion. What's going on, Liam?
Yeah, I was, as Alex was saying, I was getting a bit excited. Harry Sheasel, new recruit, kicking the first 2 goals for North, and then, it's gone downhill again. But
so it's gone a bit Sheasel since then, shall we say?
Yeah, a little bit. But, right. Good to be here.
Good stuff. This is Code Sheasel Daily, and away we go. No, we're talking all player props, game picks, best bets for today, the weekend, all the good stuff. I have got an absolute shockers NBA weekend ahead. I am stoked on that. So that's what we're going to do. Today, what are we looking at? Me, all NBA from the very, very start. Huge slate, actually, this weekend. It's like the NBA has loaded up and gone, right, post-All-Star, let's knock their socks off.
I know, yeah.
There's no NFL to compete against. Off they go. So that's all me, all NBA. Stats guy, what have you got?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Carabao Cup Final, which is absolutely huge on Sunday night, and then another AFL Future. It's not far away, so we're all getting a bit excited for that. Feeling it. Alex, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I've got all EPL and then the donation to end the week off. I think I'm going to make it a Friday tradition to be the donation because it's really easy just to put together what won't happen over the weekend.
We should start giving this to charity, I reckon.
We need to get a charity on board, Stats Guy.
Yeah, my donation, I've got a multi in there as well. I'm like, I feel good about this. And when I feel good about something, there's a definite chance to go 2 or 4 or something. But
I could have extended mine to 7 legs. I was that confident.
Jeez.
Ooh.
It's so only 4. It's 4.
So confident, always yet so far. Anyway, let's do it. One player for the weekend. Mine is really, really easy. You probably won't be able to dig up markets on this just yet because the markets aren't out. But there's a key aspect that's happened in the NBA the last couple of days. Nate McMillan was shown the door in Atlanta.
He was.
What does it mean? Dead coach bounce. Who got him fired? That little goober-looking dude out there in Atlanta, Trae Young. He's got less than my 5-month-old. He's out there looking like a small child wearing a nappy, running around and launching threes. He's going to drop 30 and 10 in an absolute canter when the Hawks play the Cavs tomorrow. Dead coach bounce is always a massive, massive play. So jump all over it. Hawks win, 30 and 10 for Trae Young. They just fired their coach. Nate McMillan and Trae Young did not get along. So this is one that I'm just absolutely going to lean right into. At the moment, the Hawks are 1-point favorites. Cavs will be on a back-to-back. Lean on Trae. Look, the defense of the Cavs is really good. They are the best defense in the NBA. Their guard defense, however, is not great. This is Darius Rucker Judy Garland, as we call him on NBA Australia, and Donnie Mitchell. 2 pretty good point guards. Well, guards, combo guards, they both are basically. Defensively, though, they lean a lot on the thin towers. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Gother-Allen. I expect Trae to go off as a bit of a how's your father to everybody who's like, I can't believe Trae Young just got Nate McMillan fired. And Trae Young's like, now look at me fly. I'm free. So boom, lean on Trae. Easy one for me tomorrow. What have you got there, Stats Guy?
Yeah, I really like that one. I'm going to have a look at the big Carabao Cup Final, which we've sort of talked about for a long time. There was a big gap between the last semis and then the actual final. So Carabao Cup Final, Man United taking on Newcastle. We talked a bit about it yesterday, how it's just like the 90s with the old overflowing kits and the old sponsors, and it's really cool. Two of the biggest clubs in the Premier League history. So yeah, I'm going to have a look at a goal scorer. Now everyone's been talking up Marcus Rashford, but I'm going to find a bit of value elsewhere. I think Newcastle have a really good defence. They've had the best defense in the Premier League this season. So I think they can smother Rashford a little bit and keep Jadon Sancho open. So you get Jadon Sancho anytime goal, $5.50 on Bet365 with really good value for him to score. He's got a couple of goals this last month. He just came back from injury a few months ago and has sort of worked his way back up into the side. He's a classy player. He showed in Germany when he played for Dortmund that he's just a really classy player. He's played internationally and so I really like him. He can dribble past anyone. It also helps that Newcastle don't have their star goalkeeper in. I think Karius, as we talked about, Alex, early in the week, he's stuffed up in a final before. So even if you get one on target, I reckon he might be a bit nervous and fumble one. So Sancho also had started against Barca this morning, looked really lively, had a few shots, didn't score. But yeah, I think he could score in this one.
That's awesome. I really like that one. Trying to find outside the box ideas outside of Marcus Rashford, which is like, where's the ding? Ding! Rashford. That's really good. So Jadon Sancho, $5.50 anytime goal. That's good.
Yeah, really good value for a guy that is an attacking midfielder. So very happy with that.
Nice one. All right. Sad Donnelly, what's going on?
I'm going to make Stats Guy sad here by saying Harry Kane will score a goal against Chelsea over the weekend.
I believe it's pronounced Harry Kane.
Yeah, Harry Kane. Harry Kane. Well, he's got the most goals in London derbies ever in the history of the EPL. He beat Thierry Henry last year when he put one past Arsenal yet again. He does have an average record against Chelsea. I will give him that. He's played like 21 games across all competitions against Chelsea, and he's only scored 7 goals, though one of them was the last time they met when he equalised like in the 90-something.
Yeah, we were winning the whole second half.
Yeah, very typical of Chelsea season, finding a way to not win. Look, Harry Kane just is the man when it comes to these derbies, especially at home. He stepped up against Man City and scored. He set up Son last weekend as well. Back him to get the job done. He scored 17 goals this season. He's second to the human cheat code. So any other year, he's having a really good year.
Everyone's not talking about him because
you look at it this year and you're just like, you kind of stink, Harry, but you've scored 17 goals.
He's a gun,
you're probably on track to get 25 to 30 the way you're going. So $2.30 for him to score any time, even for him to get a double at $8.20. Then you may as well throw in. I saw this just as I was flicking through. $4.30 for Tottenham to win to 0 against Chelsea, given Chelsea have scored 6 goals in 11 games. So I don't mind that at all because how do you win games of football, Stats Guy?
Defend strong. I just like to go the opposite of know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Nil or draws are winning games.
That's how you win.
Score goals. I know where you're going.
It's something Chelsea can't do at the moment. So $4.30 for Tottenham to win to 0. $8.20 Harry Kane double, $2.30 anytime. Pretty happy with that.
That's great. I love that to 0 bet. At 4.30, yes.
Yeah, that's with BetR, by the way.
Like it. And in terms of my Trae Young thing, you're going to have to dig around just for the player markets because they're always like the NBA is a little bit tricky with that one. You just got to have that sort of, back in the back of your head. Just go, remember, Trae Young before tomorrow.
Because it's just before the game.
Yeah. We were pretty lucky, I think, for today's set of games because they've had the All-Star break to prepare. So there's plenty of markets everywhere. But tomorrow already, it's like, we've got a couple. Like, nothing has changed in those games either. Most of them aren't on a back-to-back. What are we doing? Anyway, speaking of which, game picks for tomorrow. Mine is really simple. I've got a couple here. Well, actually, it's one. I wanted to focus on one, and then I've got basically 5 of them in the best bets. I love this game pick because it's Thunder Suns. Love a good sort of weather battle. And over 232.5 points, right? So the 232, I'm no math magician.
We've learned that.
Or math scientist. The Thunder averaging 118 points a game. The Suns averaging 113. And that's probably a little bit depressed because they've been sans Devin Booker for a big, basically the entirety of January.
Yeah, last couple months, yeah.
That comes out at, 231?
Yeah, 231.
I think we can probably eke out an extra 2 points.
Extra couple of points, yeah.
The Thunder have the best offense in the NBA since January 1st. The Suns now have Devin Booker absolutely firing, coming out of the All-Star break. Chris Paul feeling pretty good. DeAndre Ayton. This entire organization will be up and about now that they've got the sort of Kevin Durant piece in their back pocket. KD won't play until the start of next week, but this will be the first sort of big chance for them to go, right, we need to put some distance between us and the challengers in the mid-table in the West. And the Thunder are actually one of those teams, right? Because you'd think that they'd be tanking. The Thunder sort of stink, but the Thunder are pretty good. Like, this is the difference. They're good.
They are, yeah.
I love this one. I love the Thunder to cover the +8. I love the over. So I'd probably go the Thunder +8, go the over. But if you really want to lean into the Suns, I think the Suns win it. And I think we get a shooting guard battle for the ages. We've got Devin Booker, 30-plus points. SGA, Shai Redder, Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai, Gilgeous-Alexander, 30-plus as well. They both basically, well, Shai already averages like over 30. Booker's thereabouts anyway. Suns win. Boom, away you go. There's a nice little multi. But I think the over and the +8 for the Thunder is the way to go. The Thunder are on a sort of like a bit of a back-to-back here, but I kind of just like them anyway. So they'll in Utah. I think the fact that they'll be on a back-to-back doesn't really mean that, it's not going to depress their scoring output, you know what I'm saying? So I think they still go large. I think they still keep it close. The Suns don't quite put them away. I think it goes well above the over. This could be a 130, 120 match. But yeah, over. Lean in the Suns for the win. Booker 30-plus, SGA 30-plus. Boom.
Awesome.
Big game pick. That's got a raft of game options in there for
I know,
us.
yeah. There's plenty to bet on.
Enjoy that. Right. Stats guy, what have you got?
Yeah, back to the Carabao Cup Final. Yeah, I'm really tempted to just bet on a lot of things in this. It's very exciting. The whole sort of last few months I've been on Newcastle, the fairy tale, lift their first trophy in 70-odd years. But I'm going to have to change on that just from Newcastle's form lately. They've only won one of their last 5. They're the best keeper in the league who has the most clean sheets. I'm not sure if he's the best overall keeper, but the most in form. Nick Pope got a red card last week. He's very costly, very, very, very costly out. We had a good giggle at that, watching the replay of him handballing at 50 metres outside the box, which was pretty funny. Yes, and then their second keeper, Dubrovka's injured. So they've got the third keeper, hasn't played.
No, their second keeper isn't allowed to play because he played a game in the Carabao Cup for Manchester United. So he gets a medal if Manchester United win.
That's right. I forgot about that, actually. So anyway, they've went to shambles because Nick Pope decided to handball. So their third choice keeper, Karius, comes in. I think that's not going to help them. You've got Manchester United, who've only, what have they got? They've lost one of their last 20. They just knocked out Barcelona out of the, the Europa League this morning, and Barcelona are league leaders in La Liga, so which is pretty good effort to knock them out. You got Fernandes, Rashford, and De Gea, who are all confidence-based players, all in form. I just can't see them losing. You get them at $2.20, which is a really good bet. I even don't mind them in extra time. I think you get about, I think it's a little bit more. I think $3 something for them to win in extra time, just because of a lot of finals are really close. But yeah, I think they'll win head-to-head in the 90, $2.20.
Yeah, this sort of sucks in Newcastle, doesn't it? It's like you've got the story.
I really want them to. I love them, but
storybook season. It's all happening. It's all going on. All
and
turning
going downhill. Yeah, no, not good.
Alex, what are you looking at for your best? What is the game pick?
Yeah, game pick. So I'm having a look into Fulham and Wolves. That's the first game of the EPL this weekend. Pretty keen on Fulham to get the job done at home. Their home record this year is pretty good. 6 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. You compare that to Wolves away from home. They're 2, 3, and 6. Their away wins were against Southampton and Everton pre the sacking of Frank Lampard. So it's not really much to write home about. Interesting to note, going through having a bit of a study on this one, Fulham haven't beat Wolves in the EPL since 2012. But when you sort of think about the last decade of both teams, Fulham
was a baby back then. Jeez,
that guy was in kindergarten then.
Just started high school.
Yeah, kindergarten.
Mark McKinnon's eye, he was a twinkle in his eye.
Yeah, what was I doing? I don't know what I was doing in 2012. I don't know what I'm doing.
I was
now.
in high school. Thank you very much.
Anyway, when you look at the last decade of these two teams, Wolves were a pretty stock standard top 8 team.
Very good team, back in the day.
Gone to hell in the last 2 years, and Fulham, they were up and down like a yo-yo. Tony Khan spent 150 million one year and they ran last. But this year, they've been awesome. So really happy with the way Fulham have been going. Their last 2 losses in the EPL have been to Tottenham and Newcastle, so that's pretty good form if you're only losing to them. Wolves average only 0.7 of a goal per game this year, so I don't mind Fulham to win to nil either at $3.75. Big Alexander Mitrovic, he's due to get back on the ground and score a goal, but even if he doesn't, I still think Fulham will have too much for them. So head-to-head, $2.30. They're one of my better bets this weekend in the EPL.
I'm surprised they're that much this week,
is $3.75.
That's the early game on Saturday morning as well.
So 7 a.m., yeah.
A little bit, yeah. So nice and early. We'll get that one out of the way.
If you're hearing this, jump on that right now.
Yes.
Before you miss it.
Friday night football, baby.
If you're listening to it on Saturday Arvo, too late. Right. What else? We've got the best bets for the weekend. I am fascinated by this game because it's the Clippers playing the Sacramento Kings. I'm going all NBA, as I mentioned. This is possibly the first Russell Westbrook outing we'll see for the Clippers, his new team. He got traded from the Lakers to Utah. He decides not to show up to work. We call that.
I don't know if that was his choice, was it? Or
bit of a stats guy, in the middle of summer kind of vibe.
Oh wow!
But anyway,
don't holiday shave apparently. But
Donnelly, I don't know.
I've had 2 days off.
Thing, Rusty just stays in LA and he just changes locker rooms, which is awesome. He just goes.
He was happy with that, probably. Yeah.
What? So I could just move my bag over there. All right, sick, cool. That's way better.
You got to wear white instead of yellow.
Yep. So the Kings smashed them by 27 earlier this season, back in December, that game was. But that was the Clippers have been up and down with their load management this season as well, right? So if they don't have Kawhi, if they don't have Paul George, they do have a deep team, but they do sort of they basically give themselves schedule losses. So that was sort of one of those ones where you're you can't read too much into some of these Clippers losses. If they have Kawhi, if they have Paul George, and if they have Rusty Westbrook in this game, I think the Clippers win it. The Clippers had won 3 straight games against the Kings. They'd actually won 10 straight against them between 17 and 19, which was just a smash. When you're a division rival, to win 10 straight is pretty chaos.
Crazy.
But I think I'm going to jump on. Look, I think the Kings, if they weren't on a back-to-back, I'd probably be all over that. But on the back-to-back, the Clippers' perimeter defense, I just think it's probably a little bit too tough. That's a -6.5 handicap, so I like that spread. I'll jump on the Clippers. I mean, I feel like there's a way that you can see the Kings win this. It's De'Aaron Fox. It's the Suvlak King Domantas Sabonis going off. But I just think the Clippers might be a little bit too good defensively. I did this game on Fox Sports Lab NBA because it was Russell Westbrook's debut, presumably. And I didn't realize it was a Kings back-to-back because I was sort of just looking at that in a vacuum. In a vacuum, I actually really like the Kings, but on a back-to-back, it's just that little bit tougher.
It's a bit tougher,
yeah. All in the day before. 2 division rivals, back-to-back days. I think I'll go Clippers. And now we talk about donations. How about a quick multi for your NBA weekend? Knicks +2 over the Wizards. I love that.
Yep.
Nets +1.5 over the Bulls. The Bulls stink. Out of the Bulls. Get out of here. The Bucks -2 over the Heat. All the Milwaukee Bucks do is chew gum and kick the crap out of the Miami Heat. They're all out of gum. And I've got two options. Two options for the last leg. Wolves over the Hornets because the Hornets are horrible, but they do have professional basketball players. The Rockets do not. The Rockets play the Warriors. The
Rockets do not.
The Wolves, 7.5-point favorites over the Hornets. I just can't bring myself to trust the Wolves at any point of time now. They've got to prove it. To be honest, I might actually swing that around and go, actually give me the Hornets +7.5 because I can't trust the Wolves that much. Can't trust either. So I'd rather take the Warriors -9.5 over the Rockets. But Jimmy, aren't they on a back-to-back as well? Yes, but the Rockets stink out loud. Give me the Warriors at home after a road game. They're nigh on unbeatable even in San Francisco, even without Steph. And that'd get you to a $13.28 multi over at Bet365 across those 4 games. I'd probably steer clear of that Wolves one. I'd probably lean into the Warriors. A couple of the other ones are a little bit tricky, like Dallas. I think Dallas plays San Antonio. You could probably just throw the over into that one because that'll just go absolutely bananas. Actually, no, that game's today. What am I talking about?
Good job.
Other ones.
Anyway.
A couple of the other ones tomorrow. There is that Thunder Suns game that I talked about. You could probably just throw the Suns in head-to-head. Not bad value and as part of that multi. Yep. But the Cavs Hawks one, as I mentioned, that Hawks, you could probably throw that Hawks -1 in there too. I think they get that win. So there you go. Plenty of NBA options. Stats awesome. Guy, what are you looking at for your best bet?
Yeah, after we've sort of written a few things on cobet.com.au with AFL, I've started to get that AFL fever back, only a few weeks away. So I'm having a look at the Brownlow Medal. Very early look at the Brownlow Medal, but I really like Tuke Miller. So Tuke Miller, you get him a bit more value, $13 on BetR. He's dropped to $7 or $8 on a few sites. So I think if you can get that 13 over the next few days, jump on it, because I think a few people will get on him as the season gets nearer. He came third last year with 27 votes. He's had a really consistent last few years. One of the best two-way players in the league, can get clearances, tackles well, affects the play all around the ground. He's clearly the Gold Coast Suns' best player, so he'll poll well. He also had the most two-vote games last year, and he had 6 two-vote games most of any player. 6 two-vote games last year, and 4 of them were in losses. Now, I think the Suns can get a few more wins this season, so if he might turn a few of those 2-vote games into 3-vote games. He was only 2 votes behind the winner. If he changes a few of those votes into 3-vote games, then he could take out the Brownlow. That's my theory behind that. The Suns get Ben King back. I don't think they're going to be shooting the lights out. They're not going to be amazing, but I think they could get 1 or 2 more wins, which could get a few more votes. So, I really like him to take out the Brownlow. $13, amazing value, so jump on before he drops a bit more.
It speaks to his consistency, doesn't it? Where it's like, if you're polling that high in losses, if your team is better next year, then away you go. Like, you should be laughing. I mean, to be honest, that's a lot of what Cripps was last year to actually win it. Right?
The only player to win it like that was Gary Ablett at the Suns, and he's just a god. So
that's a bit different, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different when they were like last.
Tuke Miller, the most votes for a guy that wears his socks up high.
Yeah, I love him. He's very, very proper.
Where's that? Where's the highest polling votes of the dudes who wear their socks up?
Well, two could be a dollar more, unfortunately.
Him and Danger would be up there.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like Tuke. That's a great call, and the fact that he's that much value on BetR is a great call. So
yeah.
Nice. Alex, what have you got? Have you got the donation for us?
We got the donation. So, a couple of horses and some EPL. So, we'll start off at Randwick, which is my best bet tomorrow for punters.com.au. That video should be up sometime today. Race 2, number 4, Mogo Magic in the Highway. The figures out of his first 2 runs were outstanding. He's had a spell. The 2 trials since have been awesome. This looks to be a very thin highway. As long as the horse handles the trip to Randwick and the fence is playing okay, he should just jump, run, and win. He looks really good. Another horse who should do something similar, Albury, race 1, number 3, Magmetric. Big country championships day there at Albury tomorrow. Look, I think he's about $1.60 at the moment, and he probably started about $1.30 the way he trialled. His trial last week at Wagga was awesome. Danny Beasley takes the ride for Ron Stubbs. Just a deadly combination. Ronnie Stubbs is one of the best trainers around in the Riverina, and D. Beasley's got a fair distance on most of the other jockeys there, given he's 20, 30-time Group 1 winning jockey. Now he's just basing himself in Wagga as he's come back from Singapore. It'll win as well. Punters off to a flyer there. And then we head into the EPL. Fulham, as mentioned, will beat Wolves, and Arsenal will get the job done at Leicester. That comes out to $11.62 with Bet365. And dear God, please give participator strength in the country championships heat. The old man trains it. It's favourite. There's been 87 phone calls between me and Dad this week. Safe to say, we need this because we are nervous as all hell.
There you go.
Let's go, participator.
Yeah, I'll be getting on that.
Getting the actual winner's trophy as opposed to the participation trophy. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of which, I'll give you both a participation trophy for today, because that is it for Cobet Daily. We'll be back on deck Monday, and make sure you get right around the show. Subscribe, like, star it. Check it out on the socials, Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok. You can see all our articles at cobet.com.au. It's a very good website. But participation trophies go to Stats Guy for today. Well done, Stats Guy.
Thank you. Yeah, very happy with that.
And to Alex, you pepped up there a little bit once you started talking about horsies. That's good.
Yeah, I don't want a participation medal. I think they're junk. So Stats Guy, you can have mine too.
Oh, yes.
Another sort of notch on the very long list of things that Alex does not like. So.
Yeah, I absolutely hate them.
He hates everything. Anyway, Geraldinho, Gerald over there for producing, as always, does a great job. He is a very, very busy man.
We should get him on the pod one day, I reckon. Get him in there.
Yeah, we should just jump him in. Just go, give us a bet, Gerald. What do you reckon? He's like, I'll bet that I'll kick one of your heads.
Oh, he's just typed, no, thank you.
Nice. Righto. So what do we say there, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, Mayo picks come in. Have a great weekend. Happy punting. We'll catch you next Monday. Go Bet Daily. Out.